This is Britton NewOne Carter, and this is On the Line. If I'm not my cheerful self today, it's because this is a very serious topic that we have tonight. But before I get into that, I got to remind you that you can follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at On the Line TV show. Tonight our topic deals with our youth. And we like to get inside the mind of our younger brothers and ask them questions to try to navigate through some of the things that are happening out there, some of the questions that we have and we don't have answers to. So tonight we have with us two young men, X2 and Mr. X1. We also have with us Mr. Ali Rashid. We have with us Ms. Hope Dudley. And Hope Dudley and Ali Rashid, they're here with me so that we can ask them some of the pertinent questions so we can get some answers. You know, far too often, you know, we continually ask why and why and why. We have the problem, but nobody comes up with the solution. Tonight, we'd like to open the door to starting a journey towards finding some of those solutions. So tonight, let me start out with Brother X2. How you doing? Thanks for being here. The first question that I like to pose to both of you brothers is when you're out there in the streets, and I'm quite sure that you had people that were close to you, buddies, partners that have died, been gunned down in the street. You know, how does that feel to you?
I mean, you know, it's part of life. Everybody, you know what I mean? That's the only thing guaranteed in life is death, so you gotta accept it when it comes.
Okay. Brother One, X1?
And it's like when anybody else died, you know? When your family members die. You know, you feel some hurt there. You know, that's the life you choose when you're out there in the streets.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know?
So you're saying it's a matter of choice. This is what you choose to do.
Yeah, it's a matter of choice.
And-
Everybody got a choice.
Okay.
Everything you do is a choice. It's
Because
right
I
or wrong.
venture to say that, you know, that Hope Dudley's here with us. And Hope, as not only an advocate, she's not only a champion in our community, but she's someone who speaks for those that can't speak any longer. She herself has personally experienced, you know, loved ones dying in the streets from gun violence. And I venture to say that Hope would want to say that it's not a choice.
No, especially when somebody gets shot and they're not the target. I don't understand not being accountable for what you know. If you know that a person has senselessly murdered somebody and still walking around, how can you be associated with that person? Because if he knows that you know that he committed a crime, you could be a target also. So how do you handle people like that? What is your accountability to knowing that you're hanging with a person and they've committed a crime? Explain that to me.
I don't hang with people like that. I never have. I mean, I understand exactly what you're saying. I mean, that's senseless for somebody to get taken out of their life taken that didn't have anything to do with something. When I say a choice, I mean, when you know what you out there in the streets doing, like myself, I was in the streets at one time. I know right from wrong. I knew right from wrong. So if something was to happen to me out there in the streets, that was my choice to be out there in them. So the consequences I would have had to suffer for my actions. But for somebody to be an innocent bystander for something that they didn't do, that's wrong. And I can totally 100% agree with that.
Would you call Crime Stoppers, report that person for that crime if you knew that he senselessly took somebody's life that wasn't even there? A lot of times we have a lot of drive-by shootings and our children are actually getting shot. I mean, would you actually call in and say, this license plate number the make of the car, I know the person who committed a crime, would you be the person that would come forward?
Would I?
Yes.
I can honestly say I wouldn't, because then nobody stepped up for me when I went to jail for beating a man to death because he put his hands on my daughter.
So,
Did nobody step up for me and tell anything? Did nobody tell who did that to my daughter? I had to go and find that man. But everybody knew that. Old people. They turned their head. I just came home from prison for beating a man. For my
So
child.
let me ask you a question. Do you think people don't come forward out of fear? Or
Of
is
course.
it
That's
in many
exactly what
cases
it is.
not so much that they know the victim, but they also know the perpetrator? And they might do they have conflicting feelings, loyalties sometimes, you know? Could that be the case sometimes?
It could be loyalty, it could be fear. The neighborhood that they live in, an older lady, older person, they may not want to be involved or get involved because they have to live there at the end of the day. They got to walk up the street.
Well, let me share this with the young brothers, because in our day, in my day, even in Brit's day, you had a different mentality on the street. You know, this whole idea about snitching, you know, you rob me, if I call the police, I'm a snitch. You know, so where did that come from? I mean, where did that idea that if you inflict pain on me and I scream out in pain, that I don't have a right to scream out, where did that come from? You know, if I did time, there were people with me when I committed that crime. I went to jail. When they asked me who was with me, I didn't tell nobody. I did it, and I did my time by myself. Had I told, that's snitching. See, we have to redefine and bring the word, bring it full circle to what that word means. Because let me give you an example. A 9-year-old girl, Alexandria Thomas, was shot and killed. A baby. Life hadn't even started. Her life hadn't started. 4 guys went into that house. I don't know if they're shooting at the father, just shooting randomly. But that baby lost her life. I wouldn't hesitate to tell on who that guy was. See, because he done broke the rule. You got to have some kind of rules out there. You got to have, at some point you got to say, you crossed the line. You went too far. At some point.
at some point.
Even the street guys, street people. The street people were the ones that used to enforce that rule. There's certain things that you can do out here and there's certain things that you can't do.
So is there rules out there? Let me ask X2, are there rules out there in this game? That, you know, I heard a kid one day say, it's a dirty game. You know, what does that imply? Does that imply that it's okay, you know, for the way that we're operating today? Is that just, you know, the standard of operation, SOP, for today's youngsters, youth out there? Is this the way we operate?
I mean, I can't tell you how everybody operate. I operate by myself, and I ain't really even in the streets no more. I got kids, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just more of a, I stay to myself. If it don't involve me, it ain't got nothing to do with me type of guy. So with that being said, like, I don't get involved in other people's problems because I got my own. You know what I'm saying? I've been a victim of gunshots, you know what I'm saying? I just got shot 6 times.
As a matter of fact, talk about that, and I was gonna mention that
I'd rather not speak on that because, you know what I mean, it's the past and I'm trying to move forward,
okay.
you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I mean, I understand where y'all coming from, and you know what I mean, that's y'all point of life. You know what
So
I
can
mean?
you speak on this? Can you speak on how your family must have felt when you was shot? I know you can remember hearing some of the things that were said, some of the screams. You know, Rashid and I was viewing some footage just the other day, and it was, you know, it would have been nice to have it. But one of the things that I found was that the screams are all the same, regardless to whose doorstep it falls on. When it falls on your doorstep, the screams are the same. A mama's scream is the same. It has that same texture about it. Don't you agree?
It does.
It's desperation. It's devastation. It's pure
The
devastation.
pain's the same.
Yeah.
When when you got shot, did you tell who shot you?
Nah, because at the end of the day, you know, it was more so let's say like he said, it was a choice. You know what I'm saying? It was a choice for me to be doing the stuff that I was doing. So with that being said, you gotta accept it. It ain't always gonna be good, but it ain't always gonna be bad. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta take the good with the bad.
So you actually blamed yourself for being shot?
I mean, at the end of the day, don't nobody blame themselves for getting shot, but I accepted it because it was the hand that I was dealt. So it wasn't no point of sitting back crying about it, because me crying about it wasn't gonna change the fact I got shot 6 times.
A lot of times I work with families, and when the man or the father gets shot, the children can't even receive Social Security because the father never had any kind of work history.
Right,
So it's nothing left for them.
right.
So what kind of work history would your children been able to apply for Social Security, or did you have insurance, or could they get victims' compensation? Were they able to receive anything? Did you lay something aside for them because you knew you was out here like this and that something could happen to you, but you wanted your kids to be taken care of?
I'm
Did you-
gonna just say this, like, I've been out here a long time, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't no longer out here, so I ain't even really worried about what's gonna happen when I leave here, because if I was to leave here today, my kids gonna be situated
Okay.
and all given. So
Mm.
it really ain't even about the street side of the situation, because I got family that love me and support me, so it ain't even about what I did or what I left behind, because that's not even something that I would speak on camera, because it's not nobody's business about, no disrespect, but it's no one's business about what I got going on in my personal life, but those involved in the personal. But out of respect, I will say this, you know, I will answer your question and say this, that my choices have always been choices that I chose to take. I always had an option to pick. It's just like, you know what I mean, I was always the type that I had to learn off experience, so you could tell me till you blue in the face that the stove hot, but I'm gonna touch it to see if it's hot, you know what I'm saying? That's just the type of person I am since I've been a kid, like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, I know my mom probably was hurt, but at the end of the day, when I came to it, you know what I mean, like I told her, you gotta accept it, cause you know what I'm out here doing. And you know what I mean, she look at me and she tell me every day she don't agree with it. And she pray for me every day, but at the end of the day, I'm a grown man, so I make my own decisions. You know what I'm saying? That's why I decided to leave the streets for my kids.
Okay, Rashid.
We work with young men all the time, and we challenge them. We challenge that culture that they live in, because you got a right to live. You know, your life is more valuable than someone taking it because maybe you selling drugs or something. Your life is not invaluable because you sell drugs. No one is justified taking your life because you sell drugs. That's your hustle to survive. Nobody has that right. We challenge young brothers to understand that, listen, this your boy sitting next to you, X1. It's your boy?
Mm-hmm.
He your boy? You care about him?
That's my brother.
That's your brother. Somebody shoot and kill one of his children. Somebody shoot and kill him and one of his children, and you know who it is. Are you going to come forth, or are you going to retaliate? Superficial question. Is he going to get justice because he your boy and you love him and you love his family? You his friend? See, friends don't let friends get hurt. See, you can't hurt no family member of mine and think that I'm not going to get you off the street. You got to go. If you hurt one of mine, you got to go. If you hurt somebody innocent, you hurt one of them children, you got to go. I don't care how, but you got to go.
Can I say this?
Come on.
You know, like, people, you know, they come, they talk, and people talk all the time, but like you said, you can talk to the youth till they blue in the face. But like, if the substance ain't right there in front of them to give them that guidance, like, to take them away from that, that's where they go.
I agree with you.
So what is
I
the
agree.
substance? So what is
Go
the
ahead.
substance?
Let me finish.
Let me say this. To them corners. That's where they go. To them corners. You know, I struggled when I came home from prison to find a job. Ain't nobody helped me do nothing when I came home. And where I am right now, like a lot of that, I had to do it on my own. Like a lot of it. Like I listen to people talk. Nobody did nothing. Everything I got right now, I did it on my own. In the grace of the big man. Every night, I talk to him. You know, and I know this. When they get frustrated, they run back to what they know.
Okay.
And what they know be them streets. Like, I'm very intelligent. Got 3 credit hours left on my sociology degree. I've been working for the last 3.5 years. Raising my daughter by myself. Pay child support. I do all of that. So everything we sit here talking about, them streets, that ain't for me no more. I've been working on a program, Color Team Over Fear. The acronyms of that. Together each achieves more of a false evidence appearing real. And that's what I'm trying to do. Work with the youth. Because they can relate to me. And I'm the same as them when they look at me. But you gotta be able to reach them to where they can understand what you're talking about. Like, if you come at them intelligently over their heads, they ain't trying to hear that. And you push them away and they run away. So, like, this generation is different, totally different than from my generation.
And that's,
There's
I
no
gotta
guidance.
stop you for a minute and interject something here, because I hear what you're saying, and I know for a fact we've talked extensively, and I know that you're headed in the direction to try to get out. You know, you're working your way out, and that's fine and honorable. But earlier in the segment, we asked you specifically, how you felt with the street life and how it affected you, and both of you all just kind of said it comes along with the game. You know what I'm saying? You had acceptance for it, and now we hear you say what you would want for a younger brother. How would you feel if you were sitting here in this seat and you heard a younger brother say, it's accepted, I can accept it, it's part of the game. Would you want that for him? Either one of y'all can chime in.
What I wanted for him?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't want it for him. But, I mean,
would that be okay? Would that answer be okay? Would you be comfortable with him giving the same answer that you gave?
I didn't give that.
Okay.
I said I accept my consequences for what I done.
Okay, well, would that be an acceptable answer
When I was out there,
for him, for a younger guy? If he's out there in the life, would that answer be acceptable?
it has to be when you doing what you doing. If you doing wrong, you don't feel like when you get caught, you have to accept the consequences for your actions?
Okay. So,
But I don't think we're talking about getting caught. We're talking about getting dead.
right.
We're talking about somebody robbing each other. Killing each other over a few dollars. Because
Right.
it ain't no
So,
whole lot of money
I'm a
out there.
taxpayer.
But let
I'm a
me share this
taxpayer
with you,
now.
little
So
bro.
if somebody break into my house
Mhm.
and I call the police, do that make me a snitch?
No,
Exactly.
no. You're
Somebody
protecting your
robbed, so
property.
if somebody robbed me, and I call the police, do that make me a snitch?
No.
Absolutely not.
Right. But if I'm out in the streets and I'm robbing people, and I'm taking other people's money, and somebody come along and they rob me, and I call the police, because somebody did the same thing to me that
That's
I'm doing
different.
to other people. Exactly. That makes
That's
me a
different.
snitch.
But what we're talking about taking life because of that. I ain't talking about nobody taking your money. We ain't talking about nobody taking your dope. That's the name of that game. You know what I'm saying? We talking about people taking your life over that. See, that's different. You exceeded boundaries.
Right.
See, when you talk, you say that you're dealing with youth. You have to have something more to give them than what you got. If you saying that if you go out there, little bruh, it is what it is. But they already know that. They know that you got to give them tools to work out there.
Right.
You got to put a sane voice out there in the street. Just like you say, being able to relate to those young people, that ain't hard when you understand that culture. That ain't hard if you're sincere. Now, when you come home, you didn't come to him. You didn't come to me. And I say on camera, we that's what I'm saying. But we there to help young brothers like you. Because we've been there. We've been in that penitentiary. We've been through that, bro. We've been through that, man. We've been through the doors slamming in our face. We've done that.
Me too.
We understand. I understand your frustration. I understand it. So we do everything that we can to help a brother get over that hump so that you don't resort back to what you know. But what we got is, I'm going to tell you, man, you're right. You're a citizen now. You got rights. Your life is valuable. That's what you got to get in your head, though. His children's life is valuable. If somebody violates that, bro, you got, look, you come in my house, you rob me, okay. I'm going to pray first. Then I'm going to call the police. Now I'm telling you, then I'm going to go get my peace. I'm going to pray again, then I'm coming to look for you. You see what I'm saying? But I'm going to try to do the right thing and pray that the police get to you before I do. Because, bro, I ain't trying to go back to the penitentiary. I ain't trying to do that again. I'm trying to do this the right way.
I heard my producer say in a segment last week, she was talking about the fear, you know, the fear among, and I don't know, you guys out there, you know, you got your ear to the ground, you know, you're closer. You know, the fear that, you know, some of our youth are walking around with, that are carrying guns. They're carrying them because they don't have any self-defense skills, because they're scared, you know, and a lot of times, you know, I hear about shootings that occur out of fear, out of stone cold fear. Do you agree with that? Is this something that happens?
I agree.
I agree. Majority of the killings that go on.
And it ain't, I wouldn't say majority of them, I'd just say a lot of them, shit. I mean, a lot of them is part of fear, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people feel like they gotta kill people because if they miss, you know what it is if you miss. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is if you miss. But, you know.
What it is, if you survive, like you survive, you don't think that person that shot you may try to finish it?
I just left it in the most hands. You hear me? Let him deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that if I was your mother, it'd be something that I would worry about all the time. Because
yeah,
they
my mama,
already
she
shot
worried,
you once.
She worried about it, but you know, at the end of the day, like I told her, you can't change faith. You know what I mean? It's already broke. That's destined. So if I was destined to die, I was dead. I wasn't destined to die. That wasn't his plan. So I'm here.
But be mindful, fate is hindsight. Look, I might die from cancer, but if I never smoke a cigarette, it won't be because I smoke cigarettes. You see what I'm saying? So we do have choices in that.
That's
you
his
know.
plan, though. You gotta understand that's something you can't change.
We're
He knew
down
what was
to,
gonna happen before for you to, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it was destined to happen. You can't change it. You know what I'm saying?
But you can change your situation.
And
you absolutely can. And we're down to the last 5 minutes. And one of the things that I want to do, you know, in these last fleeting minutes, you know, this is just the beginning of a 4-part series, you know, and, you know, we're going to have others on. But what I like to find out is, let's start talking about some of the solutions, some of the barriers. What are some of the barriers to the change in behaviors and attitudes? What's some of the barriers? I heard you mention when you came home that doors were shut on you. You know, what are some of the barriers now that you may run into?
as far as me, like, you know, I got pending issues right now. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I ain't gonna speak on it. You know what I'm saying? But as far as I'm concerned, they've been harassing me since day one. You know, since I got shot and I ain't worked with them. I caught a case 2 months after. You know what I'm saying?
So you were targeted then?
And as we gonna put it out there, like, you know what I mean, the day you asked me to come on this show, you know what I'm saying, they pulled up on me and told me, well, let me just tell you the real, you know what I'm saying, we left the phone store, he bought a new phone, I bought a phone, my screen was cracked, we went our separate ways. We met back up to go eat. My car was parked on Garden Lane, you know what I'm saying? It was my little brother's car. He picked me up. He a valid license, valid insurance, everything. Wasn't even in the car that was registered to me, none of that. They caught us on Red Road in Yarmouth and took me out the passenger seat after getting his license and insurance.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it fine.
And pulled his girlfriend over that was in front of us. You know what I'm saying? Both of them valid license. Got my keys off my neck, looked at them, went in my pocket, found the other key to my brother's car, and drove over there and tore the dashboard, the seats, all that, broke the trunk, all that. You know what I'm saying? No search warrant, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? And guess what they told us they stopped us for? Because he turned without a signal, which was bull. You know what I'm saying? But that goes to show that, you know what I'm saying, that's harassment. They told me I was banned from a phone store because I went up there to go get a phone and pay my bill, you know what I'm saying? Like, they talking about I stood up there for 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Told me I had drugs on me. Put me in the back of the car with the K9. K9 searched my car, towed my car up. K9 searched my girl car, towed her car up. Everything.
And you know, and I got to say, that's injustice on any level. Illegal search and seizure, you know, harassment, and by the same token, it's illegal and it's devastating when the life of a 9-year-old girl, a 10-year-old boy, a 20-year-old male, a 30-year-old male, a female is gunned down and hadn't done anything. That's just as criminal and just as heinous as it is what they did to you. But the one thing that we have to do is we have to start redesigning, rework this framework called the brain, you know, because we got to protect each other in our community.
That's why I'm
You
speaking
know,
out.
so, yeah, and I'm glad you did. I appreciate you brothers taking the time to be here. I'm sorry, this is that's why we're gonna have 4 parts of this. You brothers is always invited to come on the line. You know, this has been your host, Britton NewOne Carter. Thanks, Ali Rashid. Thank you, Hope Dudley. Thanks, ex-brothers. And we'll be back at you. Peace.